Yeah, I mean the script typed the costumes, and then they were just kind of like, bleh. But that's that. My biggest problem with it was that like
You just can't see John
John
Malkovich as a
Malkovich doesn't
sexy pop star.
he can't move.
Yeah.
Like if he was capable of doing some crazy fucking Freddie Mercury
Yeah.
moves and shit, it would have worked. But
But yeah, like his like pelvic thrusting was half-hearted.
it was just unbelievable that he would have been famous for wiggling.
Yeah.
He's the Wizard of Wiggle, but he looks like everybody's fucking dad when he's trying to dance. It doesn't work. They needed to get somebody that was way more comfortable with their physical instrument. It just like did not make any sense that he was this international pop star guy. Just nah. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Good morning.
Talking about Opus.
Opus. Yeah, we went and saw Opus last night.
Opus.
But yeah, could think of a number of dudes. I mean, like Russell Brand,
Yeah.
even though he's kind of canceled now. But that's the type of dude you need.
Yeah.
Some dude that's got hips.
Yeah.
Can move those hips, can wear the tight pants.
Yeah.
Like John Malkovich just looks like Peepaw.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
Well, like even a Peepaw that had moves before they got old would still have better moves.
Look at fucking like Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
Like if you watch that fucking 80-something-year-old man up on stage, he's still swaying them hips.
Yeah.
You can tell the way he stalks the stage, the way he moves. It's like the long kind of like, remember the long scene where he does the listening party with them? It's just like that needed to be like, you needed to show off how sexy and how this dude could move and all of that, and it was literally just John Malkovich, old white guy dancing.
Yeah, with some pelvic thrusting.
Yep. Hey, old Paul, what'd you do this weekend? We're talking a little bit about it now. We went and saw Opus last night at the theater. At the theater. You must have bionic hips to be doing that at 80. I'm just saying, like, I don't even really think it's about like flexibility and shit.
It's about confidence.
It's about confidence. It's about being confident with your physical instrument. And it's something that like I just would never cast John Malkovich in a role like that. I never would. I think he is interesting enough to like do the speaking parts of the role. Like that wasn't the problem. The problem is like when he turned on the fucking I'm the rock star guy, I'm gonna do a big thing, it just didn't feel right.
I'd say it'd work if like the twist was he actually sucks, but he's got some mind control thing or something.
Maybe, yeah. That would have required a rewrite for sure. But yeah, maybe it could have worked that way. I could have worked something out. Yeah, I was watching, and like as I was watching the movie, I kept getting like little memory flashbacks to Commedia dell'arte training, and just like hearing my teacher, talk about the physical instrument and talk about confidence and ability and. Hola, how are you? All right, I'm awake, I'm alive, I'm here. Here I be.
Some episodes on the docket today.
I'll crack out some episodes today. Should be done with that shit, but it got punted. Praise Paul. That's right, praise Paul.
Yeah, I think that would have been a more interesting movie.
Yeah, if it
Like
just...
a cult leading pop star that fucking...
He sucks.
Yeah. But he's got like little mind control in his music or whatever.
Yep. How do I like my coffee? However, sometimes I do cream and sugar. Sometimes I just do black. It just depends. Depends on how I'm feeling that day. Sometimes depends on how Amelia's feeling that day too.
Yeah.
You'll often pour my cup of coffee for me and decide whether or not there's cream or not.
Well, I'm sorry for assuming something.
No, it's you always assume correct, so I never gotta apologize.
I'm not as bad as my mom. My mom does like the sweetened creamer and extra sugar.
Yeah. How was A.O. Edibris' performance? Is that the main lady?
I think it is, yeah.
If so, she wasn't bad. Like, I didn't dislike her in the film. It just is like she was okay, but it was just the narrative was off. The pacing was off.
It was just kind of a lazy script too.
Mm-hmm.
Like they weren't fleshed out enough for you to care about the other characters.
Yeah, it was I felt like I'd seen the movie before, because the setup for it was so much like...
It reminded us of The Menu, too.
The Menu.
Yeah.
It was basically, but like The Menu was a more compelling film, a better written film.
Mm-hmm.
This one was just not great. Reminded us of that. Reminded me of Midsummer quite a bit.
Why are you just starving deep?
Hi, hey. Paul likes his coffee like he likes his women. Varied. True. Do anarchy. Do anarchy? Okay.
Sorry, I just knew he wouldn't shut up if I didn't.
Get some breakfast in his maw.
Yeah.
Thoughts on gay cruising? Do you think it should be stopped, or are you fine with it happening? What the fuck is gay cruising, bro? You have to explain the whole problem to me.
Like, I vaguely know what they're referring to, but I think they need to get into the specifics of what exactly is bugging them about it.
What is gay cruising?
I think it's like the fucking dating
straight dudes? Like what? Stop smoking, bro. It's bad for you. Get banned. Smoking is great. Bug off. That's right. I assume he was talking about
maintaining relationships in public places anonymously.
Maintaining public relationships. What? What does it say? So read that again.
Okay, let me get the full.
Get the whole thing.
Yeah. originated as a gay slang term in the early 60s as a way for people who knew its meaning to arrange sexual meetings. So, searching about in a public place in pursuit of a partner for sex.
Isn't that what everybody does? Isn't
But
that
I was just like dating.
isn't that
It's
what?
gay people. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Go or like it sounds like going out to look for somebody to sleep with.
yeah.
Yeah, why would that be a problem? Isn't that what people do? Isn't that how you get laid?
If you're in the fucking, one night stand variety
Yeah,
of
you're looking for
looking,
somebody to hook up with. You go to a fucking bar or a public fucking venue or something. You party with people. You meet somebody. You fuck them, right? I don't find a difference between sativa. Oh my god, why are people on? We gotta tighten it up today. I'm dead ass serious. There's too many retards in here today. You gotta go. I guess I'll take this quick moment to give you guys the one rule here, which is you have to be able to read in order to speak here. If you're just fucking typing nonsense into the ether, go do it in somebody else's shit. Like, I try and have a conversation with the people in my streams, so if you're incapable of that, you may as well just fucking scroll up. Sunday funny for the talking about smoke crowd, I know. It's just like, what the fuck, bro? Ugh. Our conversation about why you don't work. Bro, that fucking sentence would get a big red X on it if you were in third grade. If you were in third grade, the sentence you just typed in here would get a big fat red X on it.
is that a ban?
Huh?
Is that a ban, or you want to give him a chance of redemption?
He can redeem himself.
Yeah.
He can try. You have an equal appreciation for Stoicism as you do Taoism? No. I didn't type, I spoke. Oh.
You could speak better.
You speak like a fucking 4-year-old. If that's the case.
I think it might be monkey button time.
Today it's really tempted me with that monkey button today.
Yeah.
So what's the point of this stream? You're looking at it, bro. Desperately seeking to have most interesting conversations while the world burns, and realizing kind of over and over again that we are on the cusp of not being able to do that anymore because people are too fucking retarded. So basically that, yeah.
Zeke's begging for the monkey button.
All right, monkey button it is. Monkey button it is. Participant mode. Subscribers for 5 minutes. There we go. Monkey button. Monkey button monkeyed, dude. Too stupid. Would I trade my fingers for the ability to communicate with aquatic animals? No. I want my fingers. Thank you.
And give those aquatic animals their privacy.
Yeah.
They don't want to be talking to us.
Yeah. True. Oh, the ghoul just missed the shooting gallery.
Yeah.
Had to be done today, though.
You just hit the algorithm time right, I guess.
I guess, yeah. I suppose so.
Everyone's, fucking 20 shorts deep and start pulling up live streams.
I guess so. The fuck was that? That doesn't sound good. Whatever it is doesn't sound good. Oh, he's trying to... Dude, I don't know what he's got, but somebody over there has got, like, a fucking nasty big engine. What the hell even is that? You fucking got me. You got me. You hear some weird shit out in the woods, you know. Who knows what it could be? Sounds like a sketchy old table saw. Oh, I don't think so. Had a bird try to break through my window once. Terrified me. Huh? The monkey button really hasn't helped. I feel like the monkey button isn't even on today. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. It's just time for Paul's ego to have an annoyed day, I think. Yeah, I live in cryptid territory, so that might be like a fucking Sasquatch or something over there. Who knows? I will...
It's a fair assessment, femboy. Less frequent part of humanity, but more disconcerting.
Yeah. Pretty much. I can't identify the noise either. I think it might be like a sander, like a grinder. Yeah, I think it's a grinder. I think it's like an angle grinder. Fart of humanity. Yeah, that's the terminology that I came up with to describe the sounds of engines and just loud shit. Tools and bullshit. What the fuck is he grinding? Yeah. I think that there is a car build going on over there. I think there's like an old car being built, being fixed. Yep. Well, the question for me is, what kind of cool car? What kind of cool ass car is being worked on over there? That's the question. And I just don't feel good today. I feel mad today. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed today, I think.
Humanity Fart Day.
I'm just mad today. What are the cars, a Dodge Neon or something lame? I doubt it. There's way too much metal sound going on.
Well, speaking of that, we did see someone when we were stuck in a hotel that had a pristine Dodge Neon.
A fucking iced out Dodge Neon. Dodge Neon that looked like they drove it straight off the lot.
Even though it's like
20 years old. Yeah. Did you ask TJ to do a Stephen Asante deep fat fried?
You asked TJ.
Yeah, you ask TJ. I'm not TJ's messenger. You can get a hold of TJ as easy as you can get a hold of me.
Yeah, hop on the next Onion Nuggets on Tuesday, or go in his Discord or whatever.
Yeah. I wish I still had my first car. Me too, sometimes. I miss that little zippy little thing that you could never break it down. How? TJ streams. We do live streams 2 times a week. I mean, there's a million different ways you can get a hold.
Whole ass Discord.
Yeah.
A whole content
TJ has a whole
channel.
Yeah, TJ's got a Discord. You could go over there, put your suggestion over there. Like, I can't help you, bro. He's about as reachable as you can be for an internet person. So just go do it.
Twitter.
Yeah, he's got a Twitter. Got everything. Got all the things. 100% of the things. And a 91 Ford Explorer Sport. Dude, the 91 Explorer is nice, though. First car was a Lexus. Jeez. You guys had some crazy first cars.
I think mine top's probably the most fucked up one, though. It didn't have
what was
speedometer, the 94 Honda Accord with no speedometer.
Yep, that's pretty fucking... pretty bad, babe.
I was just roughly measuring my speed with the RPM.
That's no bueno. Yeah. I paid, I think, $800 for my first car, I want to say.
Yeah, well, I mean, I paid $900, but, you know, it was 2017 or 2018 dollars.
Yeah.
Like you buying a $200 or $300 car.
Yeah. It's a Ford Tempo 5-speed. 1981 Ford Tempo 5-speed. I miss that little turd. Woof. Was that Dinor at?
I put him in to eat breakfast, remember?
Oh, yeah. He went in for breakfast.
Now he's just chilling on the beanbag.
TJ is really the most reachable internet creator. I don't know if he's the most reachable, but he's more reachable than I am. stare spot. He gives you this look like, come on, dude. Like when he's laying there, like, we'll have to figure this out. I ain't moving. Ooh. Yee-ho! Ho, ho, ho. How's life treating me? I'm pissed off today for some reason. I don't even know what I'm pissed off about, man. It's the hell of being Paul's ego sometimes. Yeah. Cannot, for the life of me, connect up with what exactly has got me pissed today, but something's got me pissed. Maybe I had a dream or something, like a bad dream, and I don't remember it, but it put me in a mood. That's a possibility, I think. He seemed lost in thought for a sec. Yeah, happens too. Ride the spiral, yeah. Well, give me a sec. I'm packing mine. See if a little bit of pharmacological reset can help my attitude today. We'll see. I don't have much faith in it, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm just angry today. It's gonna be a pissed off day today, I guess. Sucks because I've got like a lot of work to do today. A lot of shooting to do. I'd smoke one with you, but I drank too much Friday. I don't know what that has to do with smoking. No, I get it. You just want to be sober for a while. It's fair. That's fair. I see no problem with that. I see no problems with that. It's about the last scoop I can get in there. Yeah, see, this is the problem with the monkey button. Lost my job last month over having a pocket knife on me. What was your job? Got some new headshots, jumping back into acting. acting because the office life ain't for me. You got fired from an office for having a pocket knife? Did you pull it out on somebody and threaten to cut them open with it or something? Like, how would they even know you had a pocket knife? Dinor might lift my mood. He's moody today, too. Huh, D? Are you moody today? You seem a little bit moody. Just the tiniest bit, maybe, moody, you think? Oh, D. So cute. Fleet management company. Someone saw me opening my nicotine patch at my desk. What the fuck? I don't know if it helps, but at least you don't have a baby screaming its head off like mine currently is. Oh, yeah. Oh, I've officially reached that point in my life where I can't even imagine that shit, bro. I'm barely responsible for myself. Yeah, someone at your job is a real fucking gold star dork. Real fucking nerd. Whoever fired you for having a fucking pocket knife is fucking retarded as well. Damn. You're gonna be a fucking star, dude. Big Bouncer's gonna be a star. Are you a big bouncer, though? Are you a big bouncer looking dude? Like, whoa. Do you look like a brick? Like a brick shithouse? I love dogs, but I feel bad being around them because they adopt my anxious energy. And dogs are very empathic, for sure. You shouldn't feel bad about it, though. That kind of that kind of simpatico is what makes them man's best friend, right? Just tens of thousands of years of deliberate selective breeding have made these animals just absolutely loyal to us, you know what I mean, and empathetic to us. We use them as work animals. We use them as emotional support animals, you know what I mean? And they do those jobs spectacularly. I was in Ridiculousness and Ride Along 2 as a perp in Miami Metro. No big bouncer came from my pop's old online space called Bouncer's Place. Left acting to settle down and meet someone. Cool. You're a genuine, real actor. I don't know. I haven't seen any of the things you were in, but that's cool, man. That's neato burrito kind of. I like that. Man, that's a big dog over there. What are you woofing? You don't want none of that dog. That dog is 3 times your size. 3 times, at least. That's a big old dog. Big old neighbor dog. You leave that dog alone. You stick to squirrels, bud. Moved to Hollywood for 3 years. It was fun. I'd love to do it again, so I'm preparing, but I get a lot out of sitting and hanging with you, bud. Levity. Oh, neat. Yeah, no, I mean, That's really cool. I think it's cool too that there are different kind of places in America that are springing up as these kind of like shooting zones, right? Like where the local kind of government is making it attractive for these companies to come and shoot films there, like giving tax breaks and subsidies and stuff. And so Canada has become kind of like an alternative to Hollywood. And you mentioned Atlanta, Florida, Louisiana. I remember when I was living in Louisiana, I remember reading about like all of the subsidies that they'll give for a show or a movie or something to come and shoot in the quarter. I think that's neat. It's neat that you could, scratch out a fucking existence doing doing screen work, but not have to be in in Hollywood, where it's basically impossible to fucking live. Tax incentives and Tyler Perry, Fox, and a couple of others are building big warehouses near downtown in Fayetteville. Scenery is nice too. Walking Dead was almost exclusively here. That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. Well, that's super neat. Yeah, I had a friend that did. Well, she was actually like my on and off girlfriend in high school, and a really talented actress. Moved to Hollywood right after high school. Started working, waitress jobs and hitting every audition that she could. She got cast enough times to where she was able to get her SAG card, and I always looked up to that as like, man, that's cool. You get your fucking Screen Actors Guild card. That's a really good sign. She didn't end up being an actress. She got sick of it and went on about her life, and I don't know what she does now, but I remember when she came back from Hollywood to visit, she came and visited me and brought me some of her clips and stuff. She was in some zombie movies and shit. It was interesting. Did some modeling shit and then just found out that, like, it wasn't for her, I guess. Surprised you would support those subsidies. To me, it's just another way for Hollywood not to pay taxes. Yeah, I'm that you've picked up on a kind of a weird thing about me. Um, I, I don't care about capitalism when it comes to art, right? Like in terms of like how the money happens, I don't care. I like the end product. Like I'm willing to allow these big companies to fucking skirt their taxes and cheat and all of that if they crank out good movies. You know what I mean? Like to me, the trade-off is worth it. Be corrupt as fuck, but make some art. That's kind of how I feel about it. Did the Me Too movement do mostly good or bad? I don't know if you can put a mostly on it. The Me Too movement, I mean, it was inevitable, right? Like, Hollywood and the entertainment industry and then just normal industries had this kind of 1940s, 1950s, 1960s kind of slap the receptionist on the ass as she walks by kind of mentality when it came to women. And that was especially pronounced in like Hollywood and entertainment, right? And so it was an inevitable movement. Like the rise of social media should have made like if I was one of these like Hollywood producers, right? And I'm in the mid 90s and I see the dawn of social media and instant messengering and shit happening, I would have been shitting my pants, bro. Because the way those people have kind of conducted this underground sex trades, human trafficking kind of fucking underbelly to what they do is fucking crazy. The more you look into it, the sicker you'll get to your stomach, right? And so, like I said, Me Too was inevitable. Is Picasso a sexist man? I don't know much about Picasso's personal life, to be honest with you. I haven't really read much, so I don't know how he was with his partners. Do you have any problem with media piracy? Problem? Okay, so here's how I feel about that, right? When I was in my 20s, broke, you know what I mean? Just living paycheck to paycheck like most people in their 20s do, right? I saw no moral conundrum with stealing like video games. I've downloaded, video games, movies, music, all of that stuff, right? At the dawn of file sharing and all of that, I was a participant in that type of shit. I had this epiphany one day where I had gotten a job that was better than the job that I had worked my whole life. I started working for the school district, which means I made more money. My partner at the time got a really good job, finished her college and got a really good job. So we were making, a decent income. So we were making a really decent income, and I had just had this epiphany, like, dude, I can't make any excuses for like downloading this shit for free anymore. There's just no point, right? Like when I was broke and they were trying to rip you off by charging you fucking $60 for a brand new video game or whatever. Yeah, I mean, so do I have a problem with it? Personally, I don't do it. I very rarely will I circumvent legal means in order to obtain a piece of art. It's usually a last ditch kind of thing where there's a movie, but I just refuse to chase it around between different fucking, as long as they're making it relatively simple for me to get the movie, I'm willing to pay money to see the movie. Same thing goes with video games now. Like if I want a game, but I don't want to spend $60 for it, I'll just wait until it goes on sale and I'll get it. But I don't. By the same token, I don't judge other people. You know what I mean? I don't care about piracy. Like in fact, I think that if anything, I'm pro piracy, right? In terms of not allowing people to commodify data, etc. I've kind of got that kind of pirate party type of mentality, right? Oh, what flick is it? I might have seen it already, bud. Some women prefer short men. I don't know. You have to talk to women about that. It doesn't seem that way, though, does it? Like, it seems like by and large in society, women want a dude that's tall. But I'm sure that there are, some women that prefer it the other way. Right when DFF started, y'all had your patron-only episodes. I actually saw a few of your episodes on the Pirate Bay Wild Times. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, a character. Oh yeah, that's cool, dude. That'd be fun. Look to tall women if you're a short dude. Really? You think? Well, yeah, because tall women, I guess, are already used to like being taller than most men. So you get yourself like a WNBA lady. I'm 5'6", and women seem to be attracted to me. Could be the forbidden fruit aspect, because I'm gay, though. That is part of it. That is 100% part of it. Not to undermine your looks or anything. I'm sure that plays a part as well. Like, you're just kind of general attractiveness. But, like, yeah, with that whole forbidden fruit thing, women have I guess men do too, have a huge dose of that psychological, I want what I can't have kind of mentality, you know? Dinor. All right. That's enough. That's enough. Your neighbor is allowed to be a neighbor. You don't own their yard. You don't own the front yard. They're allowed to do whatever they want. It's a free country. Simmer down. Simmer down, D. Hey. Simmer down. Ah. Simmer down. Be quiet, please. You've handled it. That was quite jarring. You have no idea. You have not truly experienced Dinor until you were cuddling on the couch with him, watching a movie, and all of a sudden something triggers him and he barks, and you're not expecting it. Like, that is one thing about Dinor, is that when people hear him, they think he's like twice the size that he is, just because of how loud he is. But he's just got those hound pipes. You got the hound pipes. You got the little teddy bear face from his Cocker Spaniel and Shih Tzu. And he got the temperament of a Chihuahua. That's what happened. He's Cocker Spaniel, Shih Tzu, Chihuahua, Hound. So he got the vocal cords of a hound, the looks of a Shih Tzu mixed with a Cocker Spaniel, just fluffy and teddy bear-like, and then the temperament of an irascible little Chihuahua. And that's Dinor. How old is he? Dinor turned 9 this holiday season. He's 9 years old now. Peepaw Dinor. Still full of piss and vinegar. Still irascible, as you can tell. Do you take him for checkups at the vet regularly, or just if he seems sick? No, he goes for regular checkups. He has to, because he's on a trifexis for flea, tick, and heartworm. It's like a chewable medication that does his flea and tick, whatever they call that, you know, like keeps the fleas and ticks off of him and keeps him from getting heartworm. So he has to go regularly for checkups to get his prescription for that refilled. And so, yeah, Dinor gets his, and of course he goes in for his regular shots and stuff. Like, he had his shots beginning of this year, or sorry, middle of last year, maybe end of last year. I can't remember. And he's not due for another couple of years, I think, for his booster. Would you accept any sponsor that wanted to partner with your channel, or there's some sponsors you would never collaborate with? I don't know, man. I've never been in that position. Like, when I was on Drunken Peasants, right, I had no input. I didn't communicate with sponsors. I had no, you know what I mean? I wasn't even looped in on what sponsors were being done until it was time to shout out the sponsors. Having never been in that position where I've got, this kind of like sponsorship aspect of my own business, I don't have a fucking clue, man. I don't know how to manage that, TJ would be a better guy, I think, to ask about that, because I think he's probably had more experience with that aspect of it. Omar, what's your problem? You're gonna have to do you want to hop on Discord, Omar? I'll go grab my other phone real quick and we can hop on Discord. You want to? Okay. Let me go grab my other phone real quick. Yeah, I could do a skosh. Skosh of coffee. Give me that skosh of coffee. Give me a few minutes. I need to download the app again. Okay. Oh yeah. We've talked before, right, Omar? I can't remember what we talked about, but Omar's the dude that had a Discord convo with Paul 6 months ago. Oh, damn. You remember better than I. But no, that's cool. You just let me know, Omar, when you're ready to go. No rush, but the only rush is that I've got a couple hours here. Less than that, because I got to go get ready and everything. So I start shooting at 2 p.m. my time, so you got a couple hours. Well, you got an hour and a half. I've got a photographic memory for Pessimist Productions content. You know what you should do? I've wondered why this hasn't happened for DFF. Or if it has, I just wasn't aware of it. We need a DFF wiki.
Oh. I think there is one, but it's like troll shit.
No, we need an actual fan DFF wiki.
I don't know, it's tempting fate, because if it's a wiki, then anyone can edit it, and it's just going to turn into a hate wiki again.
Well, I mean, we had a DP wiki, and what it requires is a staff of wiki editors, at least one or two, to look at the edits and roll back the shit that's clearly trolling. Yeah, but you can lock it down. I mean, you can log it down, or you can, really what it requires, I wouldn't ask you to do it, though, Phoebes, because honestly, you got a kid, you got a job, you got your own shit going on. I think it's something that would require, multiple fans getting together and, doing it. But it would be cool to have, a one-stop shop for all the lore of the show. You know what I mean? be interesting to, like dig through all of the little recurring memes and stuff, because, when you're part of it, you fail to realize how much of that stuff there is, and it might be nice for any new people that discover us to be able to have a landing spot. I just remember I really liked the DP wiki back in the day. I think it eventually did blow up because of drama and bullshit, but whatever. C'est la vie on any kind of fan community, I guess, right?
Looks like both wikis are down. Drunken Peasants one and the Deep Fat Fried one.
Oh. Yeah, maybe just like wikis aren't popular anymore. Maybe making a wiki for a thing isn't as
Or it's
popular.
just too much bullshit.
Yeah, too much fucking bullshit to handle. Some of my main contributors are helping me start a Discord for my channel. That's good luck with that. Good luck. You remember more about Egghead than I do, dude. I couldn't tell you what Egghead's up to, bro.
You don't think about them until someone brings them up, really.
Yeah, that's true. That's true of like most of the DP pantheon of weirdos and hangers-on and guests and stuff. Like, people have a razor sharp memory for that. I guess I could understand that, having been, kind of like a really obsessive fan of certain shows and stuff. Like, it's just weird for me, because my mentality is always, you gotta kind of just let go of whatever you've done and move forward. You can't, like...
Yeah, when you're generating the content, you're always on to the next thing.
Yeah, you can't be like obsessively remembering every detail of what you've done, because you're focused on the inexorable momentum of what you're doing. Like, that has to happen. It's like today I'm gonna be chilling with the guys for quite some time, just filming shows, right? And when we're done with those, sometimes Amelia will ask me like 2 days after, like, what was this TJ show that you guys filmed 3 or 4 days ago? Well,
So
what was that? What was that about? So I can title it and make a thumbnail for it or whatever. And I'll be like, I don't remember. You're gonna have to skim it, because I don't know. I cannot fucking remember. All right, big bouncer. Have a good day, man. Do you actually like Jim Ass? He seemed a little annoying to me. He was annoying, but I liked him. Isn't Jim Ass one of the wretched mods? Nuggy? What? Are you saying Nuggy is Jim Ass? I don't think so. Cold keeps putting... What? Huh? You still with us there, Omar? You still with us, buddy? Omar takes forever. Well, he said he's got to download the app again and figure out his fucking login and all that shit. It's cool. I get it. Like I said, it's not like an insane rush. We got time to have a little chit chat. I don't know. Gotta be hard on him though. Oh yeah, I guess we do. I guess we do. Let me take a look out. I get my Discord open. Over here on this here phone. Nah, there we go. Ready when you is, Omar Peoples. I mean, there's not even, like, that's the thing, is like, it's not confidence that I'm about to win something. It's, I do not place the portent in conversation that other people do. I don't look at every conversation as a fist fight where there's a winner and a loser. Yeah, it's at Paul's Ego on Discord, bud. I thought we added each other the last time. Oh, Omar. Omar. Don't keep me on the hook much longer, bro. I can't wait for you to be on the phone with your Apple fucking pen and shit, dude. Like, what outstanding Apple bill could you possibly have that would prevent you from downloading an app? That's fucking crazy, bro. Apple support. Yeah, dude. He's going to be on Apple support. He's going to be on the phone with, like, waiting in a fucking queue of 300 people for Apple support. And come on. You got to get your shit together, Omar. You got to pull your pants up, man. You got to fucking, come on, bud. Yeah, it's a free app, bro. Free as the day is long. Yeah. I think there's probably, like, I'm not trying to, like boost myself or, like, pat myself on the back or whatever, but, like, I don't put this, like, heavy fucking anxiety on having a contentious conversation. It's just part of my fucking nature. You know, I think there's probably a lot of people that would have been sweating fucking bullets talking to Destiny. For me, rock steady, bro. The hand never fucking twitched. It was a Tuesday for me. You know what I mean? I just don't have that. But a lot of it is just my personal philosophy on conversation doesn't preclude me being wrong, doesn't preclude the other person being right, and that doesn't change the functional nature of the conversation. Like, that's what a conversation is supposed to be about, right? It's what they're for, ultimately. And so I don't, like, have this whole, like, oh shit, I got dunked on, no, kind of fucking natural response, you know? It's just very much normal. I've been there before, but Apple won't let you download shit if you don't pay your iCloud bill. Oh, I don't have an iCloud bill, so I don't get why people do. So yeah, I wouldn't know. I've got 2 iPhones and no iCloud bills to pay. Isn't that interesting? Debate bros are slowly destroying the art of dialogue. Yeah. The art of conversation, right? It's a, I've talked about this before, and I don't want to go all the way down deep into it again, but it's like gamifying conversation. So much of our human interaction has been gamified. It's like the social media game, right? How many updates can I get? What's my ratio? Blah 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 blah, right? How much attention can I get? So that sort of kind of human interaction has been gamified. And then when people do have the balls to step up and, you know, have an actual conversation with each other, there's this whole layer of gamification, right? Where, you know, I don't know. Like, I'm the winner, you're the loser. My fan base thinks I won. Your fan base thinks you won. Whoever's fan base is louder determines the winner. I don't know. Like, all of that shit, I just refuse to play by the rule. He's trying to fire it up. See if you can hear what this is. Mean, whatever it is. Mean. I don't know. What could it be? Thank you for holding, Omar. We value your business. You are currently number 272 in line to be helped. Dun, 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 dun. Girl from Ipanema is walking, and she's so lovely. When she walks, the men they stop and stare. Tall and slim and pale and lovely. A girl from Ipanema is watching. What's mean? Just purring. It's a motorcycle. It has to be. Has to be. A logging operation. Yeah, maybe. That's a muscle car. Yeah. Everybody's got a different idea what that could be. See, I think it's a muscle hot rod because it's so low and gargles. Yeah, I don't want to. It's literally just over my fence. I can't see what it is. We're just gonna have to guess for now. Sounds like he's working on his timing. He's like adjusting his timing at an idle. because it seems like his timing is a little off. She's chugging a little hard. Gargles are a dying exhaust. Well, I've heard him working on this and revving this thing before. And I will tell you that that exhaust sound is very unhealthy. I think it's way louder than it should be, too, as a result of that. I think it's not properly muffled or whatever. Whoever said dying Harley nailed it. Tuning the carb, maybe, yeah. Yeah, that just doesn't sound good. Like it never hits like a really good mechanical cycle, and it never locks in. I don't mind this. I hate that the high-pitched whine of a leaf blower is one thing. I don't mind a dude working on his fucking Harley, bro. Like, it's not like okay. He's trying to call me, but I'm going to move the proceedings downstairs so that we can hear each other. Because as cool as the neighbor's Harley that's dying is, all right, here we go. Let me get myself fucking set up here. And I can actually do... Well, no, I can't really do it that way, probably. Well, I could. Let me crank up my actual thing, and I'll just connect here.
I do really want to, because it is my other bone.
Yes, buddy, yes.
That's 2 hits. Looking for 2s. That is indeed a wound. That's 2 at AP.
Here we go.
With the bush just flashing.
Okay, here we go. Let's see if they can hear you.
Hello?
Hello? Oh, hold up. Okay, can you hear me?
Hello?
Check, check. Hello? Can you hear me, bud? Hello? Oh my God. He don't have his settings, bro. Who's Omar? I suspect he can't hear you. Yeah, I suspect he can't either. Check 1, 2.
Hello?
Yes. Can you hear me, Omar Peoples? My shit.
Okay, so I'm coming through on your stream, but I can't hear you on Discord. What the hell?
I don't know, bud. I don't know, bud. Let's see. Check, check. Oh wait. Okay.
Okay.
Wait. This is a Paul's ego problem.
I suck with technology.
No. This is a Paul's ego problem. Hold on. Okay, let's try that. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna close the YouTube thing.
Okay, we're good.
I just knew it because I'm shit with technology. But
Okay,
Paul's
well,
ego-
let me ask this. Hold on. Can you guys hear him okay? Say some shit. Just say blah, 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 the rain in Spain.
The rain in Spain.
Okay, they can hear him fine. Okay, you're good. Go ahead, bud.
All right. So I think where our last argument got derailed is we were talking about, like, you think that protest movements are more important than electoralism. That's like obviously your position.
Yeah.
Right. And unions.
Yeah.
But I kind of got derailed that I didn't make the point that, like, protest movements and unions kind of seem like they're stronger under Democratic administrations, because if you look like the civil rights movement under Eisenhower or under LBJ, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
If you look, because Eisenhower's a Republican. If you look at like Occupy Wall Street under Obama.
I mean, Occupy Wall Street was brutally crushed by the cops. The cops raided Zuccotti Park and mass arrested people. So how well did that do? How well did the pro-Palestinian protests do under Biden? I seem to remember. I seem to remember.
By the cops.
I seem to remember college kids being dragged off of campuses and shit, and protests being broken up by authorities, and Biden doing nothing about it. So
yeah, but I mean,
how well
thing happens under Republicans. But the point is that the protests at least happen under the Democrats. If that's your main issue, my main issue is like the policies that the parties pass. Have you looked at the Republican budget at all? That like the budget reconciliation budget?
No.
Well, the big concern for me is, like, my friend's kid goes to daycare through this CHIP program, and that budget cuts Medicaid by $880 billion, or minimum $500 billion, but it's probably going to be $880.
So let me, because I agree with you. It sucks. I'm not a pro-Trump guy. I didn't vote for Donald Trump, right? So I don't sign off or co-sign on anything that he's doing, right? But here's my thought process, and I guess maybe this is where I see our difference being. When a thing like Trump happens, right? When a politician like Trump, when a social movement like the one behind Trump happens, I look to the leftists, right? The Democrats, the progressives, to provide a buffer against that. I look to them to be as strong as possible in their opposition to what is ultimately some pretty big moves towards oligarchy and fascism, right?
Yeah. But do you think that Ocasio-Cortez is doing a really good job, and Bernie Sanders are doing a really good job right now fighting back, though?
No.
Because I think they are, because they're going to all these swing states and well, Bernie's rallying in swing states. Ocasio-Cortez is like standing up to the other Democrats, which she's not as prone to do, which is one thing I know you don't like about her.
Well, like, I mean, it's what because she's done that before. She's been openly outspoken against certain things, and then just like deferred her vote, or you know what I mean. So it's like I care more about her efficacy as a representative than I care about what shows she's going on and what rallies she's doing and how much fundraising she's popping off.
Well, I like that she's specifically calling out Chuck Schumer's cowardice in not voting to stop the Republican budget reconciliation.
Yeah, but like ultimately, what does that do, right? Like it's
if Chuck Schumer would have listened to her, then it would have stopped a lot of bullshit.
Right, but they're not going to. They're not going to listen to her. They're not. They're not going to listen to her.
We didn't know that until like Friday.
No. Well, you didn't know that till Friday. I knew that. Fucking
bro. You can't just be a pessimist and be like, "Oh, I'm always right." Like,
no, I can't. Well, no. I'm not trying to be that way. But let me explain something to you. And this is a disconnect that I think I have with a lot of fucking younger people. Right. I have lived through so many disappointing, shitty, backwards Democratic administrations that I did know that Chuck Schumer was going to roll over like a dog. Why? Because he did it the last Trump term, bro. Chuck Schumer was not some big opposition guy during Trump 1. He was a lapdog.
Well, like, what's our solution to that? My solution would be Ocasio-Cortez looks like she's going to primary him. So I would vote for her if I lived in New York against him.
Okay. Well, fair enough. And you know what, dude? I'll be honest with you. I hope AOC actually becomes what some people treat her like she is.
I think she's gonna, bro. I think you're a little bit too pessimistic.
No,
on
I'm not.
AOC.
I'm not. I just said I hope that she, like backs up some of the rhetoric that she got elected under and starts taking a stand against these old mummies that are holding the party back.
Yeah.
I do.
I would even support her going even harder than she is now, yeah. But
I mean, way harder. See, here's the thing, man. Recent history especially matters, okay? AOC had genuine momentum, right? When the squad was a thing. Do you remember the squad at all?
AIPAC came in and started sniping off squad members.
Well, that's the thing, though.
And
the reason that they were able to do that, to pick the squad apart one by one, right?
money in politics.
Well, okay, but it was also because the squad never used their power properly. They had,
or you could say it's because the Republicans.
No. Hold on.
That ruled on Citizens United and shit.
Well, let me explain this. The squad had an opportunity. Okay, there was a slim margin in the House, very slim. They had the opportunity to vote as a block and to hold up any legislation coming out of that place until we got Medicare for all, until we got anything.
But nothing, Paul. You know that. Okay.
That's how it works, bro.
That's a crazy strategy.
No. If it's a crazy strategy, then you should point your finger at the Republicans because it's what they've been doing for the last 60 years.
Here's the thing. When they actually did get some concession, I haven't argued about force the vote in so long, so I'm a little rusty on it, but I know they got like some committee seats. And I think that ultimately Ilhan Omar lost one of her committee seats because she was censured for some stupid bullshit that was actually, like, they called her anti-Semitic or something that wasn't actually anti-Semitic.
Uh-huh.
And it's kind of like the same issue with Al Green, where like he might lose his committee seat because he might get censured for actually having some balls. But I mean, that's the thing though, is like when you're concerned about force the vote, I'm more concerned about things that are like gonna lead to like hard policy that really happens. So like
Medicare for all being appended to a national budget initiative wouldn't have been hard policy.
We need a shit ton of work to do before anyone's going to vote for Medicare for all. We need a lot of people to be gone from Congress. We need a lot of voting to do before we're going to get Medicare for all. Honestly,
there's a lot of opposition.
I don't want to. You know what I would say we should do to get Medicare for all. I don't want to fucking put your channel in trouble. Like, January 6th isn't as bad as people say if you do it for the right cause. But
okay. Well, that's a little wild.
Never mind.
No. I mean, it's fine. I mean, whatever. Your opinion is your opinion, but like, I don't know if we're at that point yet. Maybe we are.
Yeah, but like, do you have any regrets about letting Trump win again? Let me just put it like that.
I don't put that on myself. How did my California vote let Trump win?
Well, you not voting in California definitely contributed to this idea that we have a mandate. We won the popular vote because Trump did way better in California than he usually does.
Yeah, he did way better everywhere than he usually does. What was that?
I think a lot of people are becoming really stupid from misinformation, especially like young people.
Uh-huh.
And I think them being out of school for 2 years and missing civics class and just getting instead their education from memes and shit is part of the reason why Trump won the popular vote. Like, think about it. Every time the Republicans win the popular vote, it seems like we're in some sort of like huge disinformation state. Like, people believing the Iraq war is for freedom. That's when Bush won the popular vote.
Uh-huh.
And now people are like, oh, like they believe all this random nonsense about COVID and all these conspiracy theories. And then Trump wins the popular vote. Right. And then the economy crashes. It just seems like the Republicans winning is just always a net negative in every single way, and that it doesn't get in the way of any of your goals to stop that from happening.
Okay, can you put that differently? Because it's kind of all over the place. You want me, so the original question was, do I regret letting Trump
by Kamala winning? None of your ideas about protesting or unions are stopped by Trump not taking away my friend's kids' health care.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. It's one of the reasons I don't participate.
You should have voted.
No.
And everyone should have voted. This a leftist that should to stop fascism.
I don't apply should-haves to other people, number one. Like, you do what you want.
I
Like,
do.
part of the right to vote is the right to sit and protest when you're offered two oligarchs and two warmongers to choose from, right? Like, that's the way
Yeah.
I've always felt about it. And I don't know how
Yeah.
you're going to disabuse me of that notion. But I don't.
I'm just
I
not
think.
really
I think
voting
if
based
you
on war,
honestly
because
hold on, if you honestly take a look at what impact my one California vote actually had.
What about all the people in the chat that are like, "I'm too cool to vote for Democrats, bro"? Like, it's not just you, bro. You're a big YouTuber, or like, you know.
I'm not a big.
It's-
Number one, I'm not a
Well,
big. I'm not.
There's a lot of, sorry to cut you off.
No,
There's
no.
a lot of sentiment out there that's similar to yours. It's like, yeah, I'm on the left, and and a lot of shit's gonna be destroyed, and you know, the exact opposite of my ideology is about to be voted in. But I'm just gonna stand on the sidelines because of Gaza, which both of them have the exact same policy on. Or
Stand
some
on
other
the
thing
sidelines.
Like you called her a warmonger. Like,
she is a
like,
warmonger.
how is Trump less of a warmonger?
He
like,
isn't. That doesn't
So
make.
if they're the same, then why even bring that up?
Because why don't I have a fucking choice between warmonger and not warmonger? Like, why
The
would I?
reason for that?
Why would
is
I sign
because
my name under the extermination of a people?
The reason you don't have a choice for a non-warmonger is because you didn't vote for Bernie Sanders, and also every time Bernie Sanders comes up on your show, you crap on him and act like he's not the greatest thing that's happened to this country in a very long time.
I shit on Bernie Sanders because I've watched him roll over like a whipped little dog when the DNC butt fucks him now twice. That's why I shit
Can
on
you
Bernie
elaborate on that a
Sanders.
little bit? Like,
What? Can I elaborate on what?
like, do you think that if people like you voted for Bernie Sanders, that they would literally just steal the vote from him? Because here's how the Democratic primaries were rigged. In the first one, it was with superdelegates.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bernie did so well, and our movement did so well, that we actually got power in the DNC, and we got them to get rid of superdelegates. So they had to find a whole new way to cheat them. So,
And they did.
yeah, they did. But if people didn't,
And he's
listen to
never
those
spoken
endorsements,
out about it.
If people, okay, here, I don't just blame you, by the way. I blame the libs way more for voting against Bernie, because they're the kind of people that'll be like, Bernie can't win and stuff. But like, oh my god, like this one chick. The people who actually like think the libs are better are way worse than you. But I don't know. You're about on the same level because you didn't vote for Bernie Sanders. But like, if you really wanted a non-warmonger, like how is Bernie rolling over? I'm getting all over the place. Let me just ask you one question. How exactly did Bernie roll over? Because I think that he's pretty off.
So when they ripped him with the super delegates, he stood up on the stage at the DNC national convention, at the Democratic National Convention, and said, "I'm with her. I support Hillary Clinton." When the coup happened, he just rolled over. Didn't contest the convention. Didn't force a contested vote like he probably could have. Very easily. If you I don't know how much of that you remember. That was a long time ago, and you're a young guy.
No, I definitely remember. I was volunteering for Bernie in both primaries.
Well, there you go.
Primaries.
So that was how he rolled over the first time. Then he rolled over.
Let me talk about that one. I don't think that's really a rollover, because if Hillary won, again, she would have been a lot better than Donald Trump.
Yeah, but she did. But she lost.
Where he tried to do.
But she didn't.
Yeah,
That's a fantasy. She lost hilariously to Donald Trump, the worst politician in American
history. She won the
history.
popular vote, and she lost by like 20,000 votes. If literally your subscribers amount of people changed their mind from being, I don't care, bro, I'm too cool and I'm above it, to like, actually, I don't want a fascist government, she would have won, and we would have avoided this entire era of Trump.
Wait a minute. I'm
using your subscribers as an example. I'm not saying they're distributed perfectly over the swing states that it would work like that. But it was such a razor thin margin that, yeah, it is important that like the idea that that the parties are the same doesn't get out there, because they're not. Like, can you at least admit like when you say this all the time on your show that there's no difference between the parties? There is a difference. There's a huge difference between the parties.
I don't say. Let me correct you. What I say on my show is the differences between the parties are diminishing to such an extent that they are functionally the same. That's a different statement. So how do you engage with that? Because that's what I say on my show a bunch of
The way I
times.
engage that is so easy that you would never say that if you were a woman or if your kid was on ship. You would never say that they're remotely the same. Because those people literally lost their rights and are losing their health care.
I understand.
You realize they tried to repeal Obamacare last time, right? They were one vote away.
Yeah,
John McCain's dying old ass is like, I'm going to do one good thing and stop them repealing Obamacare. Otherwise, we would have cut Medicaid by even more than they're trying to cut it now last time Trump was elected. You're rolling the fucking dice every time the Republicans get in there.
At what point because you were talking about revolution earlier.
Yeah. I was voting for
and now you're arguing for cyclically cucking yourself to a controlled opposition party.
You can do both at the same time.
Trump cuck yourself to a controlled opposition party and revolution.
Well, left-wing protest movements, I actually think are kind of hurt by Trump getting elected, because when Trump wins, it makes a certain amount of people think like, well, that just must be what everyone wants.
What's he going to do?
Like when Reagan won, did the country move to the right or to the left?
What is Trump going to do? Drag the people off the campuses and brutally allow police to crack down on them?
No, he's going to make less people even want to be with those. Well, luckily, those people are standing up to that shit. But it's always a risk that, like with the Reagan years, where people could just move further to the right and be like, yeah, this is actually the way to go. Like,
what? What do you even...
When Reagan got elected, did the country move to the right, yes or no?
Did Reagan's presidency? Yes. Absolutely.
So
yes.
when the Republicans win, especially when they win big time, like winning the popular vote and being like, oh, we have a mandate, that's like a lot of people are just drones, bro. They're just going to be like, yeah, well, that just must be right then.
No, I agree with that.
Let
me ask you a question. When Bill Clinton,
more people protesting.
When Bill Clinton was elected, did the country move to the right?
Bill Clinton was moved to the right by the Reagan era.
Oh, okay. So when Obama was elected, did the country move to the right?
The Bernie Sanders movement.
Did the country move to the but hold on.
Sorry,
Did the country move to the right?
I think the country moved to the left, and then Donald Trump moved us back to the right. Because you got to remember, Trump didn't really win. He won the Electoral College. He won the popular vote. I mean, Hillary won the popular vote, excuse me. So it's like the Bernie Sanders movement started. No one was talking about Medicare for all until Bernie, right?
And now nobody's talking about it again.
Not enough.
And now nobody's talking about it again.
Yeah, now everyone's totally misinformed. Their main concern is like trans people are some stupid shit. Like, not that trans people are a stupid issue. Their rights matter, but being against it as like a reason to vote, like that. Now people who
do you think that we would be better off now if Bernie hadn't rolled over in 2016?
I think that if Bernie said "fuck you" to Hillary in 2016 and Trump won by even more, that'd be worse. What if he forced a contested convention and won in a contested convention the right to be the Democratic candidate against Trump and beat him? Bro, if Bernie was going to win, he had to actually get the most votes. If they're going to rig it against him, he's not going to get it without actually then Bernie would just be basically rigging it.
Wait a minute. Would the country be worse off if Bernie had rigged it?
No, it wouldn't be. It'd be better off. I don't want to say stuff that gets read. I support a lot. I just support the right thing happening. I don't care how extreme it is. Like I would support like a left-wing dictator if they have the right policies.
Then you need to stop. Hold on. Then you need to stop with this like Trump didn't really win shit, because if Kamala won, you wouldn't be saying like, she didn't really win.
I was saying before the election that if Kamala won without the popular vote, that'd be fucking awesome and hilarious. Like I just want the right policies to happen.
So you have no consistency in your.
No, the reason that I want the popular vote to be the way that we elect people in is because then Democrats will win 8 out of 10 elections. They'd win 80% of the time versus 50% of the time. Trump won this time, but that's the section doesn't prove the rule.
So in my lifetime, there have been Democratic supermajorities at least 4 times. Why haven't they done that?
Because of the Blue Dog Democrats.
Okay, because
Joe Manchin and
so do you know? Have you ever heard the term
like that.
Have you ever heard the term rotating villain?
No, I've heard of Joe Manchin, and I've heard of who was that guy? There was another guy under Obama. I'm forgetting his name right now. I would remember it if I wasn't on the phone with you. I'm just fucking there.
Can I explain to you the concept of the rotating villain?
Yes, sir.
There's always a reason when the Democrats have a supermajority that the Republicans can just obstruct it. So during the Biden administration, which you probably remember best, it was the parliamentarian. You remember that? The Senate parliamentarian won't let us force a vote on this, that, and the other thing. So we got to go to budget reconciliation. Or it is Joe Manchin, or it is Kirsten Sinema, right? It's the one Democrat that for some reason the majority whip just can't whip into shape, right?
They do have an excuse a lot of times, man.
So
like,
the
parliamentarian is completely false. It's a completely false excuse.
I understand.
Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema voting against it is not a fake excuse. Those people are really really more corrupt than other Democrats, and they actually do block legislation.
Do you know how LBJ got the Civil Rights Act through the Blue Dogs?
He was, what did he do? Like just aggressive, bringing him into his office and saying he's going to campaign against him.
So he was actually quite brilliant at giving people what they needed, right? And finding like dealing with people on their level. So what he did was he offered a lot of committee positions, right? He was just openly dealing with these people. You vote for this, I'll make sure that you're elevated to this cabinet position during the next cycle. Or you vote for this, and I will see to it that you get this, Ways and Means Committee thing, right? So some of the people were moved like that. Other people, he pulled them in, and he gave them what is known as the Johnson treatment, which means he just got them in and bullied them. Subtly, not like I'm gonna kick your ass and fucking kill you right now if you don't vote, but just like literally in their face. Against you. Yeah, in their face, shaking their hand all aggressively, pressing and just like pressing in on their personal bubble. You know what I mean? In such a way that certain personalities just fall before him, and then he threatened to use fucking Hoover against people. He was like, the FBI, they've got a long, thick file on your fucking tax filings, and I think it might be time for the IRS to take a look into your businesses. Or you could do the right thing and just vote for the Civil Rights Act, man. Now, the question becomes, if LBJ can do that, why can't any Democrat since LBJ do it? Why is the rotating villain just
Citizens
excused?
United, it's not that they're actually cowards. It's not they're actually cowards. They're just bought off. It's actually that. It really is.
Okay.
There was a reason for them to be able to be like, I'm going to listen to you because I can get this committee seat because that increases my status back in the day. But now they're like, no, I'm going to. No,
it's still committee seats are still ultra powerful, bro. Ultra powerful. They still allow a person after they serve a term in Congress. If you had a high-ranking committee seat, you are immediately hired as a lobbyist, and you're a multimillionaire overnight.
Joe Manchin, the money he takes is an extreme conflicts of interest. He's out of Congress now, and now the Republicans just control West Virginia.
You just brought up the exact thing that would have got Joe Manchin on board to vote for all of the shit.
He wouldn't have because he's too corrupt. My point is that even if he was promised a committee seat, he'd say no because he's going to make more money.
No. I didn't say promise him a committee seat. I said, Joe, I've got the budgetary committee and the IRS breathing down my neck about your personal finances, Joe. I think we might have to seize a whole lot of money from you. But
then
we can sweep all. Joe, look at me in the eye. We can sweep all of that under the rug, Joe. You just give me a vote. Just stop being a Republican for one night, Joe. And we'll just turn a blind eye to your businesses and your conflicts of interest.
So
Why
that would
didn't
basically
that
be the
happen?
perfect politician if we had.
Why didn't that happen?
We need the perfect politician. We need someone who is like Bernie Sanders with the charisma of like Obama or LBJ, who has the balls of LBJ to actually do that. And I mean, what other reason can we say we don't have that anymore besides like the erosion away of the
Okay,
Democratic Party?
I've got an answer.
Republican judges.
I've got an answer. One of the things that you need to mention in that erosion is the cyclical
People keep voting for
support,
'em.
the cyclical support of Democrats.
No.
And
It's not because
rewarding
people
them,
vote to stop fascism that they do that.
rewarding them with donations and support.
Well, it's actually the opposite. It's actually the complete opposite. When left candidates lose, they think like, "Oh, we don't need to cater to the left anymore." When
I'm
people
confused.
like you say we're not going to vote anyways, they don't view you as, "Oh, we need to win you over." They say we need to win over the people who do vote.
I'm
They don't give a
confused.
shit how many people vote. They just give a shit that they win.
Didn't you less than 5 minutes ago say that all the candidates are bought?
They are.
So
It's not
isn't
equal, though.
voting for Democrats rewarding them in the truest sense of the word over and over again
No, you're not.
for being
Not
shit
voting
stains?
for them.
You're not
No,
rewarding
not
them.
Voting for them lets the Republicans win.
So it's
and
not a
tells
big
them they need to go
reward?
further right.
So wait a minute. All politicians are bought and paid for,
They're
right?
not equal though on policy.
Well,
They still have their constituencies. They have to.
Wait a minute.
Bought and paid for, but he's catering to people who are idiots who don't care if Medicaid gets cut.
Got it.
Kamala is bought and paid for, but she's catering to people who actually care about that kind of shit, and she has to actually pretend to care about it.
So when the Democrats,
Kamala's not going to repeal Obamacare, right?
So when the Democrats proffer an excuse like the parliamentarian rather than get something
that was bullshit.
done,
I agree with you on that. But Kamala is not going to repeal Obamacare, right? And Trump tried to last time, and now he's cutting Medicaid again. So they're not like they're both bought and paid for, but they listen to the money, but they still have to listen to the people that vote for them. If the people who vote for you don't want horrible things, then you're going to have to at least balance that out with the money.
So let me ask you a question.
He's balancing out the money and oligarchy with horrible shit that his voters want, like fucking taking away trans people's rights, like making it a felony to be trans in Texas, like they're doing.
Let me ask you a question. Did you do any kind of post-mortem when Trump won this last time? Because we haven't talked since then. Did you go
a post-mortem?
Yeah. Like what happened? What happened? What happened? Like how did the Democrats lose to this hilarious old man with a dump in his diaper and orange clown makeup on his face? How the fuck did that happen?
Do you want to know who wins if you pull the policies that they were running on? If you just pull the policies, Kamala wins. Like if Trump was running on Kamala's policies, he would have won by like 20 points or something.
Well, Trump did run on.
The reason she lost is because a certain amount of people will just never. They're just
Kamala's policy,
and they're idiots. Like
what was Kamala's immigration policy, and how did it differ from Trump's?
That wasn't different. That was they were basically.
Oh, that wasn't different. So if you're an immigrant,
well, hold on,
fuck you.
It was. I'm not representing that well. Like it was slightly different. Like if you look at that, she would have done something similar to Obama. At least Obama was focusing on like people who had committed a crime or something and deporting them.
Obama deported more people. Obama deported more people than George W. Bush and Trump combined.
It wasn't the same. Well. Trump is gonna pass that if he gets a second.
Yeah, he'll pass it. He might meet it.
He's supporting people who didn't even commit a crime. He's supporting people who have legal green cards and shit. Like it's not there again on that issue. That's an issue where the Democrats are bad, but even there they're not the same. So, I mean,
are you ever gonna get tired in your life of the lesser of two evils shuffle?
Let me just address that. Like the whole I need to do a postmortem. Like, why aren't you doing a postmortem that you not voting just let like a fascist have a mandate?
Wait a minute. Why would I do a
somehow I have to do a postmortem?
You need to because do you want to lose again?
For him to do a postmortem and like, wow, I'm a retard. I voted.
You're the pro-Democrat guy, bro. You need to. You don't think it's important to go like, fuck. How did we lose? You don't think that's important for you to do?
We could campaign better, but
you want to wag your finger at me. You literally said that my subscriber base could have made Hillary Clinton win.
If people vote for someone to win, they win. Yeah, that's how.
So that's what you're focused on, not how did we drop the ball. Hold on, let me finish, bro. We can't talk at the same time.
I'm terrible at this part.
How are you reconciling that? How are you reconciling starting this conversation with me and pointing the finger at me and going, "You let Trump win," and then not even, and then like I ask you, did you do a postmortem after being a pro-Democrat guy and watching them hilariously
no, because
lose?
I already know that we should have run someone further to the left. I would have rather had Tim Walz run.
But you argued with me about that. You argued with me about that because I was refusing to support Kamala Harris.
Right.
And I was saying we need to have an open primary. We need to get somebody in there that's electable because she's unelectable. And you argued with me about that.
She got the nomination immediately. There was no primary. So how would you have done that?
Look up open primary right now and educate yourself. Please.
There was no primary.
Contested primary. Contested convention. Look up any of these things.
Actually tried, and it was people like Cenk Uygur and like weirdos that no one was going to vote for, dude.
Oh my fucking god, bro! See, this is why I asked you. This is why this is the most important thing, dude.
You know what I would really change? I would change the gaslighting narrative that Bernie Sanders is too old to primary people still, when he's literally only 3 years older than Trump, who's like mentally retarded and like 10 IQ points lower, like 50 IQ points lower than him.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh my god, dude, you are wild, man. So you watch Joe Biden fall apart in front of the world, and you don't think that the age of these candidates needs to be reined all the way the fuck in, and that maybe placing all our hopes in the fucking already had a heart attack last time he ran heartbeat of an 80-year-old man may not be the smartest fucking idea?
He would have won, though. He would have absolutely demolished. And let's say it wasn't Kamala.
Then why don't you agree with me that he shouldn't have rolled over twice?
We're moving away from the question.
No, we're not. We're moving towards it.
The way I reconcile, you're asking me that, I think that's just a bullshit question, because I already know we should have had a further left candidate than Kamala. I already know that Trump should have won. I already know that he's going to do all this horrible shit. So I'm not being reconciled. I'm just saying, wow, the worst scenario has happened, and I had no control over it. I did everything I could, and idiots chose the wrong choice. I don't have control over it.
So there was no problem.
If I was like a centrist lib, like my friend's dad, whose grandson is going to lose his health care, maybe I'd be like, oh, I need to do a post-mortem and realize I should have voted for Bernie. But those kind of people, I mean, we need to work on getting them to do a post-mortem, because they're probably just going to keep going in the wrong direction and just be like, oh, we need to go further right because Trump won.
You agree that the Democrats fucked themselves by coronating an unelectable cop.
The centrist Democrats and the people who think they're too cool to vote fucked over Bernie Sanders. Yes.
What?
The Democrats didn't fuck themselves. The centrist Democrats and the people who agree with Bernie on everything, like you, but didn't vote for him for some stupid ass reason, like, oh, he got butt fucked or something. That no policy for why you disagree with voting for Bernie. They fucked over him so that he couldn't win and change the party in a different direction. Even him losing has put the party to the left. But like, do you think that if Bernie Sanders hadn't run and lost,
what the fuck happened? Hello? Hello, sir? What the fuck was that? It says I'm still in voice. Let's see if I can call him back. Hello? Now we can't hear you, bud. Let me see if it's my settings again. I doubt it. But yeah, it sounded like you just like left the call. It was very weird. Give me a sec. Voice and video. No. I don't know what's going on, bud. And can't hear you. So See if he leaves and rejoins or something. Check, check.
Hello?
Okay, now I can hear you again.
Word.
I don't know
So
what
I
the
was
fuck
in-
that was.
If Bernie Sanders, if Bernie Sanders won and people voted for him, obviously the party would have moved way to the left, right? But even him losing, do you think that Biden would have done something like the child tax credit that cut child poverty in like by 2/3? That if Bernie hadn't won and lost, like
You mean the
even
child
him
tax
winning,
credit?
losing, and getting butt fucked, quote unquote, had some pretty good benefits.
You
Like,
mean
we
the
got-
child tax credit that he let expire?
No, who let that expire, Paul?
Joe-
Like you
it-
said
Joe-
the last time, it pissed me the fuck off.
It
Who let it expire? Who voted against it?
It expired
voted
on
against
Biden's watch.
Oh my God, you sound like a fucking maggot saying that, bro. Just be honest and say the Republicans voted against it. They killed it. The Democrats voted all for it.
You know how the Republicans killed it? Because the Democrats couldn't muster because of the rotating villain that we talked about earlier.
Oh, because of Joe Manchin, who's a corrupt piece of shit and is going to retire anyways, and there's no way you could convince him.
I think prison or having his fucking shit seized would have convinced him.
And
but
in
that's
this
just me.
era, we're not in the LBJ era, man. Like, I wish they would do that, but in the reality, if Biden did that today, they're trying to say he's corrupt just for pardoning his son, which he has every right to do, or whatever.
If Trump did that, you would be rabidly calling it corrupt as fuck.
I just don't care because he passed the child tax credit. If Trump passed the child tax credit, I wouldn't care about it, to be honest. But the point is that if Biden did something like that, the media would be like rabid dogs around his neck, because not only would he be doing something corrupt, he'd be doing it to actually help people.
What do you mean? What do you
If he
mean?
did something corrupt to help people, I'm fine with it, but the media would not be in this era. And you just kind of really weaseled out of that one, that like every single Republican voted against it. If one more Republican would have lost, it would have still been in play. But you just kind of weaseled out of that one.
I kind of weaseled out of that one, did I?
I mean, because it's a very clear example of where the parties are not the same, where like 99% of one party votes for the good policy, 100% of the other party votes against it. But you're like, oh, let's all blame it on Joe Biden.
So
not
you
doing
think
something
you
illegal
shouldn't?
to pressure Joe Manchin.
You don't think
Like you admit, right? You admit that would be illegal to say that the FBI is going to look into Joe Manchin because of that.
When the president does it, it's not illegal. Richard Nixon. A little quote for you there.
We can all agree that he should do it, and who cares about the law when morality is at stake? But you would have gotten hammered for that, and you did really just dodge it. Like, oh, yeah, they're not the same, man. They're not the same.
Yeah, because we've rolled
the same.
over and allowed these fucking Republicans in Democratic clothing to be rewarded over and over again with electoral victories, and then we make excuses when they suck and can't get shit done.
I'm gonna tell that to my friend's kid, bro, and he's gonna be like, "What?
What? Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna tell the fucking kids that live in the town that I grew up in that are watching their parents get deported and going to a country they don't even know. I'm gonna let them know that there was no choice. Right?
Tell the people like who?
Do you think your friend's kid is more important
than?
than like I don't get where your moral compass comes from. It seems very self-centered.
No, the people who are deported under Obama are not the same people that are being deported under Trump. If you're going to go there, even on that policy, they're not.
Okay, yeah, tell me about it, bro.
So do you think it's the same to deport way more people and deport people who haven't even committed a crime as Obama deporting people who had committed crimes?
What crimes have they had they committed? What are the stats on that?
That was Obama's deportation policy, dude. You can look it up. He was focusing on people who
So
committed crimes.
if you're here,
practice. That was even George W. Bush's practice. This idea of like being a massive ethno-state racist was caused by Trump winning.
huh?
And now people are on board with mass deportation. There was a time when people weren't actually on board with mass deportation. But now it's been that agenda has been advanced further.
It was called the Reagan administration.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Ronald Reagan. Oh shit, here we go, bud. You don't know, huh?
What happened?
Ronald Reagan naturalized 1.5 million people.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying he did amnesty.
He naturalized them. He made them American citizens with the stroke of his pen.
I'm saying that he did amnesty. We're both in favor of amnesty, right? So that's a left-wing policy. And now,
Wait, well, how's that a left-wing policy if it was Ronald Reagan who did it?
Because the parties back then were a lot closer, and they've gotten way more extreme now from Republican victories.
But you just started. Oh my God, dude! You have no basis. You have no basis in your belief system. You were just talking about. You were talking about how you were talking about how Reagan.
Hold on.
You were just talking about how Reagan is the arch conservative and the reason for everything being horrible.
I said that his victory moved the country to the right. It made the Democrats think we need to be more right wing if we want to win.
But he was to the left of every.
Trump is worse.
He moved the country to the right, but was somehow like radically to the left of every Democrat in modern history.
Left and right are relative. Back then, the left was further left, and the right was further.
Everything's relative to a person like you who is afraid of taking personal responsibility for voting for the controlled opposition party over and over again, and you want me to take lumps for your bad decision.
Let's not move around. Let's stick on immigration. Can you just look up what Obama's deportation policy was? Like, just look up and fact check yourself. Was Obama deporting people?
Why don't you look it up and fact check me?
I already have, because I argue with conservatives all the time on this Facebook group I'm in. This MMA page.
Oh, a Facebook group. Well, there you go. You've definitely done your homework.
I'm not using the Facebook group as my fact. Oh my God. You think that Obama's deportation policy is the exact same as Trump? But you admit Trump's deporting at a higher rate.
I didn't say exactly the same. I said Obama deported more people than Trump did.
So if they're because
he continued the George W. Bush. He continued the Clinton and George W. Bush era policies of mass deportation.
Do you think that's? Can you just say what I just said was bullshit? Saying that Obama deported more people when Trump had one fucking term, and Trump's deporting at a higher rate.
Okay, you understand that you can judge
You're
people.
Gaslighting me right now.
No. You understand Obama deported more people in his first 4 years than Trump did in his first 4 years.
I'm fact checking that right now, dude. That's bullshit. That's absolutely
bullshit. Go for it.
Absolute bullshit.
Fact check me. Obama built the cages to separate for kids.
I've heard Republican talking points before.
That's just the truth, bro. You calling me a Republican now?
He didn't have a policy of family separation. He didn't have the same kids in cages policy. That's just a Republican talking point.
He just built the dystopian. He just built the dystopian facility. Yeah. He just built the dystopian facilities. Yeah, he just built the cages for human beings.
So it wasn't the same policy again, and you're gaslighting me again. But I'm looking up these numbers.
I'm gaslighting you, bro. I think you're gaslighting yourself. You're so fucking confused. Go ahead and give me my numbers. Fact check me. Doesn't look like the numbers are going good for you, huh?
I'm just trying to find the raw number. The raw number of Obama's first term. Hold on. Obama. Oh my gosh. I don't need your opinion on if he's a deporter in chief or not.
Uh-oh. Deporter in chief. Obama. Uh-oh. Somebody's learning something about recent history right now.
I am not learning something about recent history. I know that Obama's called the deporter in chief. I'm just trying to see the context and the numbers.
You know now that he was called the deporter in chief because you just found it trying to fact check me.
I'm not who you think I am, bro. I know more about politics than you. I'm podcaster. Paul, you literally just vote based on lesser don't vote blue no matter who, but slogans. I'm voting based on policy and shit.
Go ahead and give me that number.
I'm finding that he deported 482,000 in 2013. I'm trying to find the whole number for his whole first term.
500,000 in 2013? Wow. That's a lot. 500,000 people in one year. It's starting to look pretty bad.
No, it's not, dude. It's just hard to find a straight up number.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
Well, we're waiting, bud. We're waiting.
Is while I'm looking this up, your position is that Trump is better on immigration than Obama.
I don't want to talk until you got the
Even if different
numbers.
amounts of people come in the country and the policies under Obama were more lenient.
I don't play this like moral rectitude game. He deported people out of this fucking country, in a country of immigrants. I want to know how many. Because you called my fucking memory of the history of things into question, and I'm waiting to be corrected by you. Because if I'm correct, it kind of undermines your whole position, doesn't it? Doesn't it?
What is the number for Obama's first term and Trump's first term? Why don't you just give me what I'm looking up if you fucking know it, dude? I'm trying to find like the actual number.
I don't remember the exact fucking number. I remember it's more. I remember Obama beat Trump in his first term. I don't remember what the exact number is. I just know that to be the truth.
Could it be possible that more people are coming in?
If you want to fucking if you want to make little Weasley arguments, do it somewhere
That's
else.
not Weasley. That's everything. That's
no,
the
that's
context.
Weasley.
If less people are coming in, how are you going to deport more people?
Oh my god, dude. Your argument, you just have no fucking ability to self-correct, do you? You're just going to die on the hill?
I am not finding that you're right. If I find that you're right, I'll self-correct. I just can't.
You're not finding that I'm right
number.
about the deporter in chief?
No, I know you're right that he's called that because he deported more than Bush. I'm just not sure about the actual fact that in one term, I've heard that he deported more than Trump, and I just assumed that was because he had 2 terms because Republicans lie all the time.
Wow. So that assumption might need to be corrected now, huh?
So do you think that if Obama, I'm not going to concede at all that he's worse than Trump because his policies are not worse because Trump's literally deporting people that have a legal right to be here. He's supporting people that have committed no crime.
Obama. Who did Obama deport?
That the percentage of non-criminals that are being deported is up. You
realize just being hold on.
Then,
you realize just being undocumented in this country makes you a criminal.
No, it's not. That's a civil infraction. Only under Trump are people starting to think that it makes you a criminal.
Well, it's a criminal infraction according to our fucking immigration code.
It's a civil infraction. It's like a speeding ticket.
Right.
If you get a speeding ticket, are you a criminal?
No, you're not a criminal.
That's only under Trump are people starting to think that everyone who comes across the border illegally is a criminal. And I know that I have recently heard the fact from secular talk or some shit that the percentage of non-criminals that are being deported is up. So I'm not going to concede at all that Obama's worse than Trump on immigration. But even then, that would be one issue. You didn't engage at all with the fact that they're not at all close on drug prices, on Medicaid, on Social Security, on regulating the environment.
I'm not
on
the
national
one.
parks, on 99.9% of policies. The Democrats are better. Can we agree on that?
I wish they would.
If I can agree Obama's the deporter in chief, which I already fucking knew, then can you agree that on all these other policies we've talked about,
the Democrats would be better? Yeah. That's never been.
Then you should have voted for him, bro.
No.
That's about the bottom line.
No.
Well, then answer, how does it hurt any of your goals to vote for them? My answer for you is I think you just want to be different, bro. I think you're just emotionally attached to this position.
I want genocide to stop. I want mass deportation to stop. I want drug persecution to stop. I want the militarization of our police to stop.
Okay. I know this chick that was going to the UNC protests and where the camps got brutalized. Did you do anything like that? I don't even fucking believe you on that, dude. Sorry,
what?
I don't.
So now when I tell you my genuine opinion, you just nuh-uh me.
Because no matter who won, that was going to happen.
Isn't that part of the problem, bro? Don't you see a systemic problem here?
And why do all these politicians get flooded with money from Israel? Is it because of the Republican judges that ruled on Citizens United?
I don't know. Why do they
It
get?
is because of that. It is because of that. Because
Why do
super
they?
PACs used to not
So
be a
you're
thing.
telling me IPAC wasn't a thing before Citizens United?
No, it wasn't. That's all, dude. Super PACs were illegal before Citizens United. You couldn't do. No, there was like a limit or some shit before Citizens
So you're
United.
telling me there was no money
There was a
flowing
limit.
from Israel?
There wasn't unlimited money. There wasn't unlimited money.
Wait a minute.
There was 2 Supreme Court cases. There was Citizens United. Now we're going to Google more shit, dude. Citizens United and Buckley v. Vallejo.
Sure. That legalized the super PAC process.
Fuck the Googling. Yeah, let's not gaslight right now, bro. Like, you know that there have been court cases that have made this worse. They're ruled on by Republican judges.
Yes.
If Democrats won,
Absolutely. Absolutely, right? Yes. The cyclical failure of the Democratic Party to provide any kind of buffer against the constant shift to the right of the Overton window has caused the degradation of our society to the point.
Let me just ask you this, Paul. Why don't you ever give that kind of speech about the Republicans? Why don't you ever say, like, oh, the
because I'm not a Republican.
Fuck us over.
Because I'm not a right winger. It's not my dude. If you're gonna, dude, I can guarantee you that I have spent more hours making fun of, insulting, calling out Donald Trump and Republicans than you have in your life.
You have a left-wing podcast, dude.
Yeah, I have a left-wing podcast, dude. Yeah. So shut up.
So of course you're gonna like do that on a more regular basis. That's your job.
Don't fucking don't. Dude,
obviously, I'm a fan of yours, so I wouldn't be calling in. I'm saying you should be doing your job slightly better.
Well, I tell you what, dude.
You are wrong on this one thing.
I tell you what, dude. I would be really way more apt to take that advice from somebody that knew what the fuck they were talking about.
How do I not know what I'm talking about? Such a gaslighter.
What do you know about podcasting, bro? That I would take. So if I was a butcher and you came and you hold up. No. You're gonna let me finish. Let me finish. If I was a butcher and you came in and we're going, and I've been a butcher now for 10 years, running my own butcher shop, and you walked in the door and were like, you walked in the door and you were like, hey, bro, the way you're chopping up that meat is fucking incorrect. And I go like, oh yeah, what do you do for a living? Yeah. You're like, oh, I'm fucking whatever you do. What do you know about podcasting? What can you teach me?
Chopping up the meat on fucking drunken peasants was pandering to the right wing. We don't even need to go into all that. Like, you guys,
what?
I've been watching you guys for like a long time. You guys are like, if you want to talk about podcasting, you guys had like a whole like 8-year, or like it felt like that. It was more like 4 years under the Trump presidency where you were just pandering to the right wing.
What?
Like TJ's whole like, answers to black people, where he just is basically becoming like an anti-SJW, like racist, making fun of black people in videos, making fun of feminism for almost like a decade, all while equating both sides.
So this is like, so wait a minute.
That's what I can critique your podcast about, dude. You've gotten a lot better. You guys basically did a radical change right when George Floyd died. And you're like, oh shit, maybe this anti-SJW shit is just racist bullshit. And I'm glad you guys did change on that, but
I don't even, dude.
If I'm critiquing your podcast, Paul, you literally called G-Man the N-word multiple times.
Didn't in
a non-joking way.
Didn't call him the N-word, by the way. I've watched the clip. Didn't call him the N-word. So try again. Try again.
You used the N-word to make a black guy mad. You didn't use it in context. You weren't making a joke. You were saying it to offend a black guy.
Do you know how common it was for literally everybody in the early 2010s to use that word contextually?
I know, bro. That was never.
So can you shut up then? Can you quit trying to be a weasel and talk to me like a human being then?
Well, I never thought that was okay. If I had a podcast, I would have done that. So that's my.
You were like fucking 10. You were like 10.
You asked me to critique your podcast.
You were like 10.
I was not 10. I was in high school.
You were like 13. What do I care what you thought about it then?
Well, I was smarter than you, right? I knew it was wrong to do that. You didn't. You were pandering to the right wing. And I was like, damn, this is stupid.
This is the guy, the N-word never fucking crossed his lips, bro.
No, but if I did it...
Never crossed his lips. Give me a break, bitch. Dude, your little moral purity testing shit is garbage, bro. Hit me with
bro.
hit me with something
you asked
else,
me to
bro.
critique your podcast.
Hit me with something else because I'm bona fide, bro. When it comes to my politics, 100% consistency. My
Bro,
channel
I
is
always
up.
liked
You can fact check me,
more
bro.
on politics.
You may not know this. Hold up. You may not know this. My Paul Zigo channel got unbanned in the 6 months since we last talked. And
Good.
my entire archive of political fucking positions is available for your perusal.
Of you being way more based than TJ, yeah. Like when the boys were pandering.
So wait a minute. Why are you asking me to answer for TJ?
Because you're asking me to critique your podcast, so I'm.
No, I didn't. No. I didn't ask you to critique my podcast. I asked you, why would I take your advice on how to do my job?
Because I'm not racist like you guys were on Deep Fat or on Drunken Peasants.
So do you think I'm a racist?
I think that TJ is definitely.
No. I didn't ask if you thought. I'm not here to answer for TJ. Do you think I'm a racist?
I think you went along with all that shit at a lot of points.
What did I go along with?
One segment. Let me tell you the one segment that made me stop watching you guys for a while. Like I would watch you guys on and off, even though you were anti-SJWs. But then one segment on Drunken Peasants in college made me not want to watch you guys anymore.
Okay.
It's where you guys were basically making Confederate flag is okay argument. Like you were talking shit about some lady who was outraged about a Confederate flag and acting like she's an SJW. And you were going right along with that shit, dude. Like I was expecting any of you guys to stand up to it, but you were just going along with the pandering. I'm sure you were stoned. It was just one random segment, but it's like still, bro, you would never catch me defending the Confederate flag. So that's one critique I can make. I would never do that. I wouldn't be as popular because my voice is hard to listen to and nerdy, and I'm not charismatic.
So do you walk around all day just like peeping out for flags to be offended by?
No, you asked me to critique your podcast.
No, I'm just asking why that would be something that made you not want to watch the podcast.
I clearly still watch it because I'm subscribed to your side channel and watched your new channel and all that shit. Like,
okay, what are we even talking about?
Because you asked me to critique your podcast.
You're here though.
Sidetrack from the original conversation.
So no matter what I did, I retained your viewership for over 10 years.
Okay, but to go back to our original argument, can we summarize that the Democrats are better on 99% of policies, if not 100%? If not 100%. Okay.
Does that 100% include immigration? Does that 100% include?
You found one policy where you're actually full of shit and their policies aren't even the same because Trump's deporting.
I'm full of shit, but you didn't know that Obama deported more people than Trump.
There are not an equal. There were more immigrants that came in under Obama. He was deporting non-criminal. He was deporting criminals.
Man, so instead of looking,
you acknowledge just on immigration that Trump is deporting a higher percentage of non-criminals.
I don't know. You'd have to give me the numbers on that. It doesn't matter to me. I don't think criminal status.
It should matter.
Hold on. No. I don't think criminal status removes human rights.
I don't either, but we're not going to get the furthest left position. I'm saying which one is worse.
I don't think that which one is worse? Which one is worse? Judging people. I don't know. You know what? That's a great question. Which one is worse? Which one is worse? Basing your morality around whether or not a person has criminal status and trying to make an argument around that, or deporting people that aren't criminals? I don't know.
I think we should have an argument that immigrants actually help this country. We shouldn't fearmonger about them at all, but we're so far from that. Like, I'm saying which one is worse. So if we can acknowledge we haven't found the numbers for that Obama's term was more than Trump's term, I can accept that because I did read that there were more immigrants that came in under Obama. But do you accept that it was a higher percentage of? I mean, you said you'd have to read it, but we'll both look into that after. But let's say that is true,
I'm not the one that wants to make this equivacy argument. You are.
No. I'm not equivocating the parties. I'm saying they're different. I'm saying they have different policies. I'm saying that Trump's supporting a higher percentage of non-criminals. I'm not saying that Tom Homan would not have been in the Obama administration. Like, I'm saying that these fascists are nowhere comparable to the shit that Obama did.
And we need now, more than ever, an opposition. And where are they?
Hold on. They're busting ass right now, and you're not giving them any credit. Like Bernie Sanders going to all these swing states and asking people what their problems are and how the party should better answer them. That's showing the Democratic Party on TV these are real voters. These are people you need to win over. You got to listen to fucking Bernie. Now libs are liking Bernie more than they ever have. That's another reason why I wish we weren't gaslighted in
because
this.
he's shown them that he's not. He's shown them that he's not an actual threat to them.
No, how is he no threat? Do you think that Bernie got no concessions from Biden, Paul? Do you think that he's just no threat and he caved to Biden?
Yeah.
Okay, so why did Biden pass a bill that would have negotiated all drug prices, something we've been screaming about forever? The bill would have negotiated all drug prices. It got whittled down to 10 by fucking bitch-ass Joe Manchin.
So wait a minute.
But even
so
that
he did. So he
Republicans
passed a bullshit legislation that whittled down
Not
to
bullshit.
10 medications, and you want me to fucking like what? Do
you know
a
anyone with
backflip?
diabetes?
Huh?
Do you know anyone with diabetes?
Sure.
So insulin prices are not just some bullshit, bro.
I'm on like 6 or 7 different medications. I pay out the ass for my meds, bro. I understand.
Okay, so the Democrats are better than the Republicans.
I don't know what you think, dude. Like, do you think that I'm unaffected?
I think that you know that the Democrats are better, and you just don't want to admit it. One, because I'm being an asshole, and it's hard to admit you're wrong to someone who's being an asshole.
I have
your ego wrapped up in this opinion.
No, I think I do think that there is an ego wrapped up in this opinion, but I think it's yours.
No, not at all. How would I have an ego? I'm not a podcaster. No one knows or cares about my
every angle that you
like what is going to affect my life.
Every angle that you've taken against me.
Are they going to have their rights taken away? Is my friend's kid going to have his health care taken away? Are fucking the gay people that I know going to have their rights revoked?
Do you think I don't know any gay people?
I vote based on. You vote based on. I want to look cooler than Vosh. Who fucking cares about his opinion at all? He's a fucking pedophile.
What, dude? You are. Like I literally can't even follow this conversation. You have your foot.
I am saying that I vote based on policy, and you vote based on dumb internet bullshit.
I don't vote.
You base your opinion on voting based on dumb internet bullshit, and I vote based on what policy is going to affect the people that I know.
My policy on voting on dumb.
Yeah, like is Chip going to be taken away? Is Roe v. Wade going to be overturned? Like, how are you acting incredulous about this? Stop, Paul. Just fucking be honest.
You want to talk about Roe v. Wade?
Yes, Omar, the Democrats. Yes, Omar, I'm going to stop gaslighting you. The Democrats' policies are better, at least 99% of the time.
Do I need to ask you about the ratchet effect again?
What is the ratchet effect? I forgot about that already.
The ratchet effect is the inexorable move politically to the right, where the Republicans do a bunch of right-wing shit, and then the Democrats get in place and they act as a placeholder. They don't run it back. They don't counter with left-wing shit. They just end up being placeholder candidates that allow the Republicans. They do tokenistic things during. Hold on, let me finish.
I get it.
They do tokenistic things during their time, and then they just throw their hands up and shrug as the Republican undoes them and pushes things to the right. And by the time you get another fucking Democrat elected, they're indistinguishable from a Republican in the 80s. And the fucking Overton window lurches to the right again. Do you know how weird it is, being as old as I am, watching the Democrats stand up and scream about how buff they're going to be at the border? That is literally just rank 90s level,
the country, bro.
90s style George W. Bush Republican xenophobia.
I think, you know what I think is weird, Paul? I think it's weird that you just basically made a long speech to justify to me that, like, expanding Medicaid to 20 million people is the same as cutting it by 880 billion.
No.
Even if they were the same on immigration, all that other shit.
They didn't, but they've had, how many years
have
have they had to expand Medicaid? How many super majorities have they had in my lifetime to expand Medicaid, and they just can never get it done? Never feasible.
They did it. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh my God, dude. I'm talking about Medicaid for all.
No, oh my God, Paul.
I'm talking about Medicare for all. I'm talking about expanding.
Oh my God.
Government Medicare.
So your plan is that we get Medicare for all by shitting on the person that popularized it on your podcast every chance you get.
No, I shit on Bernie Sanders because I'm done doing the Bernie Sanders dance.
So you don't want want Medicare for all then? You don't give a fuck about it.
I want Medicare for all. I just have realized that Bernie Sanders is not a conduit to that.
You're absolutely lying your ass off if you're telling me that the Medicare for all movement was further along before Bernie Sanders.
It's nowhere now. It's nowhere now.
It's nowhere? It's more popular than it's ever been.
Medicare for all movement?
Liberals think that Bernie Sanders is right now because of what just happened.
Healthcare was like number 38 on the list of public concerns that they release for the election. Yeah.
What was it, like grocery prices and shit? Because inflation was out of
It was immigration.
What the hell?
Hold on. It was immigration, fentanyl, and so drug problem, right? And
it was the
price of groceries. Yeah, the massive inflation. Yeah, Bidenomic inflation.
Are you dude? You're just a MAGA guy if you think there's Bidenomic inflation. Are you fucking kidding me? What was the inflation rate in all the other developed countries? It was higher, right? Because of COVID and the supply chain issues.
How does that change the? Why do I care that the fucking world was worse when I was worse? Like, what does it matter?
Who caused the COVID crisis to be as bad as it is? Like, let me give you this example, Paul. Vietnam had like a total of 6 cases of COVID. If we had a competent president in there like Hillary, who's to the right of us, but at least she's not fucking retarded and insane like Donald Trump, she would have dealt with COVID better, and there would have been even less inflation.
Do you think Vietnam? Do you think Vietnam is a fair? Hold on. Do you think Vietnam is a fair analog for the United States?
It's not, because less people are
so
going
shut
to
up
Vietnam.
then.
But we could,
Stop it. Stop it. Weasel argument. Stop it.
We could have had 6 cases, but we
Weasel argument. Stop it.
It's not a weasel argument because we could have done way better than we did. Do you think Trump mishandled COVID, and that's part of the reason why inflation was so bad?
Did you oppose Operation Warp Speed?
No, of course. That was great.
So he did pretty good on that.
I think we should have done a lot more to stop the spread.
So he should have hit, like, he hit Warp 5, and you think like Kamala Harris or Hillary would have hit Warp 8? Like, what are we talking about here?
Better nationwide policy to stop the spread. We could have had like a federal policy and not like a president that's like fighting against the states that are trying to do something about it.
Mm-hmm. And you think the Democrats were gonna do that?
Yeah, they would. Because all the Democratic states took it more seriously. Yeah, I just happen to think that.
Oh fuck! They should have ran somebody who seriously opposed Trump, then, huh?
Dude,
they should have ran somebody electable, right?
Or people should just care about facts and policies.
Like Bernie Sanders, right? Maybe they shouldn't have fucked Bernie Sanders twice and just let him take the mascot of the party.
The second time by not voting for him.
What?
You were the one that fucked Bernie Sanders.
No, the DNC was the one that fucked Bernie Sanders. Can we talk about Bernie 2 Electric Boogaloo? You want to talk about Bernie 2? Because it doesn't look good.
They dropped out and they had a
okay, yeah, because so you know. So I'm not to blame for that. I didn't coordinate the DNC candidate dropout and fuck Bernie Sanders the second time. I didn't do that. Who did that? Who did it? Knock, knock. Are you there? Yeah, nobody can hear you, bud. Who did it? I don't know. Is your mic dead or some shit? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with you, brother. I've got about 10 minutes, though, so you need to fix your shit because I got to go get ready for a long day of recording. Hello? Hello? Check, check. 1, 2, Electric Boogaloo. I agree, Dinor. I agree, dude. I agree, dude. Take that kid out. Take that kid out at the knees. I don't know what happened, bro, but nobody can hear you. my mic's working. I checked my settings. Everything's gravy. I joined and rejoined. You might need to like leave and come back, or I don't know what's going on.
My phone died for a second. But Paul, we're jumping around from too many topics, man. We're jumping around from
That's not my fault.
We're jumping around from should you have voted for Bernie, which obviously the answer is yes. We're jumping around from are the Democrats' policies better than the Republicans, which the answer is yes. So like I feel like we've gone over them a bunch. Like at this point, I feel like you should just concede at least the Democratic Party policies one. Like before we go on to Bernie Sanders,
I never so this hold on. This is like a straw man. I've never and I've said this on the podcast that the Democrats would probably be better on this.
You call it the uniparty.
Right, but I've been trying to explain to you throughout this whole conversation what controlled opposition is. And you don't want to admit that the Democrats are the very definition of controlled opposition. And you're a victim of it.
Opposition to cut child poverty by 2/3.
And then to let it lapse.
You are so fucking dishonest on this issue, Paul. If 99% of one party votes for it, if it's just controlled opposition, why did they pass it in the first place?
If it's not controlled opposition, why did Chuck Schumer just sign off on Trumponomics?
No. We got to stick on one issue, bro. Because you're
no, we're sticking. No. We're this is the same issue, bro.
It's not. We're talking about the child tax credit.
You are flabbergasted, right? Let me ask you a question. How do you feel about Chuck Schumer right now?
I want to stick on the. I feel like he did a horrible job. I want AOC to
control.
primary.
Yeah. It's almost like he did It's almost like when the chips were down. Hold on. It's almost like when the chips were down and when it was important, he did the opposite thing you wanted him to do, huh?
And 99% of the party did the right thing, so we need to get him out of there and get someone else like AOC. So, but let's go back to the child tax credit.
You don't understand controlled opposition. You weren't listening to the rotating villain. You weren't listening to the rotating villain. You haven't listened to a single thing I've said.
The Democrats are against the child tax credit.
Ultimately, I don't think that they care about it. If they did, they would have codified it. Same thing with Roe v. Wade.
You think there's just a hive mind?
They had like 4 or 5 supermajorities with which to codify Roe v. Wade into law to make sure that it didn't fall apart in the courts. And they never did it because they're controlled opposition. Because it is more. Hold on. Let me explain how controlled opposition works. Because you're a victim of this, right? Controlled opposition pretends to oppose something, right? But never really takes care of it. You understand? So it's like Roe v. Wade.
So
Hold on. Let me finish.
Okay.
Roe v. Wade was more important to the Democrats as a wedge issue that was never quite sewed up than it was as a right for women to choose what they want to do with their bodies.
It's a wedge issue that's not sewed up. Yeah, I admit that they're using it for political popularity. That doesn't mean that the Republican policy
that's what we call controlled opposition.
Of it is better.
That's what we call controlled opposition because the eventuality of Roe v. Wade being taken away.
Then yeah, the controlled opposition is fucking better than the fascist rampaging pieces of shit that completely obliterate everybody's rights.
But the control you need to look up controlled opposition. Controlled opposition serves the fascist party.
But they're not controlled opposition in
so
the
literal
sense because they're not actually controlled by the fascist party. They just were using it as a political wedge.
Controlled opposition. You need to look up the term, bro.
Okay, I'll look it up.
Thank you. Controlled opposition appears to oppose the fascist party while tacitly signing off on it. Hence the Overton window lurching to the right in just my lifetime. That's controlled opposition, bud. You need to look at the big picture.
That's all rhetoric, and I'm trying to stick to policy, and we're trying to talk about the child tax credit. You admit, right, when we already have acknowledged to the audience that probably thinks I sound bad because I sound like a nerd, that 99% of the Democrats voted to keep the child tax credit. If there was one more Democrat that wasn't Joe Manchin, we wouldn't still have it because Trump won. But if we had one more Democrat and then people voted for Kamala, we would still have the child tax credit.
You're describing controlled opposition.
No, I'm not. I'm describing reality.
If only the rotating, you know what? The Democrats tried.
Hold on, Paul.
They tried, but it's only that rotating villain. If only that rotating villain would have just done the right thing. If only that parliamentarian hadn't reared his ugly head. Damn that parliamentarian. Damn this Republican obstructionism. That's why we couldn't do anything. That's why we couldn't codify Roe v. Wade. That's why we couldn't roll back the drone war after the Bush administration. That's why we continued the policy of economic exploitation of the fucking Middle East. That's why we continued the policy of economic exploitation of the global South. That's why we continued the policy of supporting dictators and bad regimes all over the planet so that fucking people could continue to die under these fucking regimes so that people here could get rich. That's why we continued the policy of celebrating oligarchs and billionaires and giving them their way and paving the way for the very fucking policies that you've been decrying here. That's why. That's why millions die. That's why the working man makes less now than he made fucking 40 years ago. That's why. Because the controlled opposition party, the controlled opposition party, sir, the controlled opposition party has facilitated at every step, and they've used useful idiots like you who make nothing but excuses for them when they fuck up and fumble and just shrug and go, what are they supposed to do? When they fuck up and fumble, the world goes right. When they fuck up and fumble, the world goes right. And your prescription is to endlessly, cyclically support that fucking tragic failure. To the detriment of everybody, to the detriment of people's ability to afford a place to live, to the detriment of people's ability to work a fucking remunerative job, to the detriment of people's ability to fucking come here and make a life for themselves, to the detriment of people's ability to not die in fucking horrible trench warfare, to the detriment of people's ability to have a fucking place that they can live that isn't blown up by a fucking communist, fascist fucking dictatorship.
That's fucking hilarious. You're blaming oligarchy, the Ukraine war getting worse. And we're trying to talk any progress on any of them.
I'm tired of your weaseling.
You're wrong about every single fucking one of them on.
I'm tired of your weaseling, sir. I'm tired of your weasel shit.
I'm not being a fucking weasel. You just did the weaseliest tactic ever by gish-gobbling me. Can we go back to the child tax credit?
What do you want to talk about the child tax credit that fucking evaporated under the fucking Biden administration? What do you want to talk about, bro?
If they're controlled opposition,
another failure. If they're controlled opposition, they do something good, then let it lapse.
The secondary question is, are all the Democrats literally the same as Joe Manchin?
What?
You're saying that there's a rotating villain, and that if there was no Joe, if a different Democrat was there, they would have found some other to not do the child tax credit. That
is the rotating villain. What do you think the parliamentarian was?
I'm explaining why it's wrong. Okay, if 99% of the Democrats voted for it, it's logical to assume that if there was another more left wing than Joe Manchin Democrat in there, they would have also voted for it. And if they were really just controlled opposition that didn't want that to pass, why would they pass it and even introduce the concept to people that can be done? That you can just give families money, basically. It was basically a UBI for families. Why introduce that concept to people if they're just controlled opposition? The fact is that it's more complicated than just, it's just all the system, man. They're all different politicians. Joe Manchin's worse than 99.9% of Democrats. He's the worst one in there. If you're honest,
he's not in there anymore, but you get it.
Yeah, he's not in there anymore, and that's another reason.
And now for some reason the Democrats, and for some reason, hold on, wait a minute. Joe Manchin, the worst Democrat, is not in there anymore, and the Democrats still can't mount any kind.
They don't have a majority. If Kamala won, she said she was going to put that tax credit back in place. Do you not pay attention to anything that goes on in politics?
So they didn't win.
You realize she ran on that, right? And
they didn't win.
Biden was for it, so we can trust her that she'd probably do that.
So they lost, is what you're saying, and now they just can't.
It's like you that didn't vote for them, yeah.
Now they just can't.
People think they're cool to vote.
They lost because of my vote. Yeah.
No, because of a lot of people's votes.
Yeah. Maybe you ought to. Maybe you.
Not a million people.
Maybe you ought to. Maybe you ought to address that instead of just endlessly trying to do the finger pointing blame game when the Democratic Party shits the bed.
I'm wanting Trump and Elon Musk and the Republicans. I'm not blaming 100% you. Trump and Elon Musk aren't going to take my calls. I'll call my.
So what? I'm the next best thing.
No, I need to call my politicians, to be honest. This is silly compared to calling them.
I mean, this is silly compared to just fucking like putting a finger up your butthole to see if it feels good.
No, it's really not. Arguing
No,
about the
it is.
child tax credit, which literally cut the child poverty.
Bro,
rate
this
to
child
2%,
tax
not
credit
just some
thing,
bullshit.
this child tax credit thing would be a way better argument for you if it was the Republicans that nuked it.
The Republicans did nuke it.
The Democrats
All of them voted
allowed it
against
to be
Why don't they
nuked.
get any smoke from you? But you give smoke to
The
the party that
Democrats
voted
allowed it
99%
to be
for it.
nuked. The Democrats allowed it to
okay.
be nuked.
I hear out of your mouth every Republican voted against the child tax credit. Can you just say that out of your mouth so I know I'm not being completely gaslit and that you're not like in MAGA?
Every Republican voted against the child tax credit.
And
There
you
you
have
go.
no smoke for them, right? Like you only blame the Democrats for that.
I blame the political class in general for that.
See, bro, I'm not a good debater. I want you to have Kyle Kulinski on your show and just tell him that you blame
I've
the
talked to
Democrats. for the
Kyle,
child
and
tax
Kyle knows
You
my.
did not. Oh my! You did not debate him, and he babied you, bro. I want you to tell him your dumbest opinions. I want you to tell him that you blame the Democrats for getting rid of the child tax credit.
I do.
And that you think the parties are basically the same.
I didn't like you. I'm not going to take your straw man argument and put it
That's
in.
not a straw man. You're telling
No, it
me
is.
that it's the rotating villain in the Democrats that got rid of the child tax credit.
It is, and
Okay,
and
wait.
actually, that's a Kyle Kulinski talking point too. By the way, you might want to
Kyle
check
Kulinski said that it's Joe Manchin who voted
the
against
rotating.
I'm talking about reality.
Okay, you haven't listened to Kyle much if you think he isn't
I
on
watched
to the
all his
rotating
videos.
villain.
Do you think that Kyle blames the Republicans or the Democrats for the child tax credit going away?
I think he blames
Kyle
both.
fights against this idea that the parties are the same, and that's one of the examples he brings
Why don't
up,
you go
the child
look and
tax
see
credit.
what he said when the
100%
child?
the Democrats voted.
Why don't you go look and
100%
see
of
what he
Republicans voted
said?
against it.
Go look and see what
90%
I think you need to stop using other people as avatars for your shitty arguments.
I'm not. Just deal with the argument then, Paul. How is
Vosh,
is
you do
99
Vosh.
is
You brought up
99%.
Vosh. You brought up Destiny. Now it's fucking Kyle.
Oh my God! Okay, let's not bring up any of them. Is
I
99%
didn't.
voting for something the same as 100% voting against it, or are those radically different parties?
You're not. I don't know what you want me to say, dude. What do you?
I want you to
What? So
admit
is it a win? Is it a win for
if the
you
Democrats
that I
won,
say what I've
things would
said
be
before?
better in the country. I want you to admit that if the Democrats won, there'd be less kids in poverty. We wouldn't be talking about cutting Social Security
Yeah.
with Elon doing whatever the fuck he wants.
Probably not.
We wouldn't be doing any of this shit.
Yeah, probably not.
Okay, that's all I needed. Okay, so the Democrats are way better, and people should vote for them. If you think that doesn't matter in the audience, you think I lost just because I'm weird or whatever, yeah, that you can assess it that way. But if you think that you want better policies in this country, maybe next time vote for the lesser of two evils, and then in the primary support someone like Bernie Sanders. Don't every time he comes up on your podcast shit on the best politician in this country. Why don't you just stop fucking nitpicking the best people in the country so hard, people in the audience and Paul.
Okay.
Don't nitpick AOC, don't nitpick Bernie,
Okay.
and then vote for the lesser of two evils. The country will be better.
Gotcha.
That's all I have to say.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Good luck with that, by the way.
All right, man. I think that can we wrap it up, I guess? I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't do as well as I thought again. I just fucking freaked
No,
out
man,
again. but-
look, dude, I think that you have a lot of misdirected anger at people like me that see the forest for the trees. And I think, honestly, I'm not trying to little bro you. I think that with a few more fucking cycles under your belt, you're probably going to have a little different idea of what I'm talking about. Maybe this conversation will ring in your ears 20 years from now when you're down the pipe and you're watching the Democrats shrug again as another fascist fucking sweeps things to the right. I don't know. I've just watched it happen too many. I've watched it
a
too.
lot of old people like Sam Cedar who are more progressive than you, that were never saying the N-word on their podcasts, that are way better progressives, and they also vote for the
I'm not trying
Democrats.
to see, dude. This is another misconception. I'm not trying to be your
You're
fucking
trying to
like.
say when you get old, you're gonna have your position. That's not true. There are people that are your age that are better, have better politics than you.
Okay,
But
well, fair enough, bud.
all right,
Yeah, best of
Fine,
luck. Have a good
luck
one.
with the podcast and everything, man.
Yeah. Have a good one, bud. Oy vey. Oy vey. Yeah, it's very much. I think, maybe with that guy, I'm poor at kind of explaining the scope of what I'm talking about, right? Like, it just seems like it's very hard to zero in on any one critique. And then when I did offer some sort of pushback, he wanted to move on rather than to answer it. So I get the feeling from that guy, and I feel like, if I remember correctly, I felt the same way the first time we talked, that this is just a dude that just like, man, he's bottled up quite a bit of stuff, and he really like puts me in a position of importance that I shouldn't be in. You know what I mean? Not just in his personal prescription, but just in general. Like, he was saying some wild shit. Who was that? Still fucking, I don't know what you'd call him, like a fan, anti-fan. I don't know what you'd call it. Oh, I don't know what the fuck that was, bro. Well, I do know this. It was fucking like pulling teeth. It was like pulling teeth. Oh, that's what it was. It's like a tenth of the way into the conversation. It's like, so will you admit that the Democrats would probably be better? Like, yeah. But then he just continued on arguing like I was saying that that wasn't the case. In a zero-sum world where we ignore everything about how politics works, and the Democrats' policies equaled actual action, right? Yeah, the Democrats would be better. My contention is the Democrats don't want that. The Democrats wanted that. They've had so many fucking supermajorities just in my lifetime with which they could have accomplished that. Trying to explain the concept of controlled opposition to a person that's swept up in it is tough. It's a tough thing. I don't know why he kept bringing up the thing Democrats let die. I don't know either. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like that child tax credit thing, like most people stopped using that as one of Biden's grand accomplishments when he just like, and it was just like, they just rolled out. There wasn't even a fucking fuss about it. It just was like, anyway, I gotta go. I'll see you guys when I see you. Have a good one.